The way the rug is typically structured is it has a central wish. It has a central theme that's going on, the central intention. And beyond that central intention, we have the borders, we have the gates, we have the portals. And the portals are created to, protect the wish or support the wish. Hi, my name is Aziza. I'm an artist, and this is Fear Alchemy. We are in the studio phase of the Albedo season, and today we are gonna sketch the upcoming piece. And the way I wanna approach this is through open-mindedness, through the energy of exploration and tapping into my well. I don't really know what exactly I'm gonna create, but I have a feeling for it. This feeling of whiteness, this feeling of expansiveness, this feeling of water and salt coming together and creating this magnetic field for cleansing, purification, being surrounded by this energy and feeling that every piece of my body, like every piece of my cell is being regenerated, purified. This feeling of this clean white space is a clean white slate for the new day, for the new beginnings. I wanted to tap into my culture because I really resonate with how Kyrgyz artisans and craftsmen and artists, when they create a piece, whether it's like a wall piece or the cover of the yurt or the rug, there's a specific structure they follow. There are two essential things before you create every piece. First is knowing who you are creating this piece for, and second, why you are creating this piece for. What is the reason for creation of this piece? And depending on those two factors, you select the patterns. And in Kyrgyz culture, patterns carry this deep symbolical nature to them. Each pattern have their own meaning and energies to them, and depending on the patterns you select, depending on the compositions you select, it's like sending a message. It's like sending a wish to the person you're creating this piece for. And so oftentimes mothers would send their daughters messages of happiness, of love, of stability, of abundance to their daughters. And through patterns you could tell the history of the family, tell what the mother wishes for their daughter. And so I feel like it's really has this nature of creating a piece for good reasons. And that's what typically why Kyrgyz artists would create these pieces for, is for the new beginnings. And I feel like the Albedo is the season of the new beginnings. Before we go deep down into designing the piece, let's look back to the Nigredo season. Right? Nigredo season brought to life the fertile dark piece. Because I want my pieces to be connected to each other, tell this cohesive story. And the story begins with the black square and the work that's happening within that black square. The fertile dark is the phase of plowing the earth, working with the earth. And the materials themselves and the structure gives the feeling of the earth, feeling of plowing of the earth. And what typically happens after you plow the earth? What do you typically do? I feel like the next step would be bringing in the water. Through this energy of the water, you know, how it goes down into the earth. And with going down, it's like cleansing the earth and also nurturing the earth. And this is where this alchemy happens, alchemy of earth and water coming together, and through coming together, creating this space for this ground for the new, you know, new plant to emerge, for the new life to emerge. So it's like a ground for the new beginnings, right? I already love the symbology of everything that's happening. And so I feel like the Albedo piece is going to be a lot about water, right? And what is the symbol for water in alchemy? The symbol for water in alchemy is triangle. I'm very excited because triangle is my favorite shape. As long as I remember myself, I've always been fascinated with the triangles because, you know, triangle is a shape, is a very dynamic shape, right? So if you notice, wherever the triangle is directed, the motion there goes. Like if the triangle is looking up, the motion is upwards, right? If triangle looks right or left, it's like pushes the boundary, right? And if it's looking down, it's like showing towards the earth. And the triangle that represents water in alchemy is triangle looking down. Let's put these two pieces together, because what's happening right now is we have a square that is the earth, right? There is this stability, there is this grounded energy, and then what comes in, the water comes in, looking at the earth. And so by looking at the earth, nurturing the earth, being together with the earth, and through being together, creating this alchemical process of filtration, purification, just by looking and reading the signs, reading the shapes by themselves. That's the story I see, and I think like I want to keep to that story because I really resonate with the story of, you know, natural elements coming together. You know, like the more I'm with the nature, the more I'm observing the nature, I'm like realizing how nature is like has this connection with like everything, you know, like through observing the nature you can understand what's happening within you, the processes that's happening within you. And it's just like a beautiful reminder that everything in this life, everything in this world is super interconnected. So we have the shape, and now the question is what goes in the shape? That's a really good question. And that's the question I've been researching all this time with Kyrgyz patterns. I talked with the artisan that creates Kyrgyz traditional rugs, and the things that she shared with me like really resonated with me.
Скажите, пожалуйста, про строение тумара. Как он выстраивается, как его грамотно можно построить?
Если вы замечали, то в шердаках очень часто присутствуют рамки. Внешняя рамка, основная рамка, опять треугольнички и основной узор посередине. Как раз-таки вот эти треугольнички, они же все время повторяются. Во-первых, это означает горы. Во-вторых, это оберег, тумар. Он же имеет треугольную форму. И как раз-таки вот эти треугольники, они и заключают, завершают композицию. А по-другому это защита со всех сторон того, что вложила туда женщина. Когда вы вчера сказали, что есть тема очищения, я очень много думала и поняла и словила себя на мысли, что когда начало само создается, то есть начало шердака создается не из того, что есть плохое и надо его очистить, а из того, чтобы вложить туда только хорошее. только хорошие пожелания, только благословение, только чистоту, только идеальное, изобильное будущее. То есть, когда эта мастерица создает шердак, она фокусируется только на хорошем.
The way the rug is typically structured is it has a central wish. It has a central theme that's going on, the central intention. And beyond that central intention, we have the borders, we have the gates, we have the portals. And the portals are created to, protect the wish or support the wish. And each line is like a gate. I think I want like several gates. I want to start with triangles because that really makes sense for me. I'm working with the triangle, and triangle within the triangle, it sort of like gives the idea of secret geometry. Whoa, 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 whoa. Triangles, triangles, triangles. Now I want to do the second layer. Okay, my second layer, I think I want it to be related to the water, the symbol of the water. So the water is typically represented by this type of symbol, the symbol of It Kuyruk. It Kuyruk, the name of it is It Kuyruk. It's like the tail of a dog. But it doesn't mean necessarily the tail of a dog, it's more like a wave. It represents the wave, it represents the water, it represents the curve. It also represents the infinity, it represents the flow, it represents the ever-flowing rhythm of the water. And I think that would be beautiful to include that in my piece. It's like the infinity. Infinity. I like this a lot. Yes. Here we go. Wow. All right. I already like how this looks like. I feel like adding another layer. I'm just like going off vibes and off intuition and seeing if any patterns resonate with me, if they speak to me. I like that the triangle comes like with like smaller lines and bigger lines of things, so kind of want to do it in that way too. And maybe within the smaller lines there is more like triangles, more filters, more waves. At the heart of it all, at the heart of this whole entire message, I feel like I want something that would talk about the core. What could be the core? It's like a flower. The flower imagery. It's like the blooming of the flower. It's like the growth that comes after working with the land and working with the water. The growth of the flower, the first flower after the longest winter. What flower is that? The flower that grows from underneath the snow. Oh my god, you guys, like I don't know the name of the flower, but we got the gist, right? Like leave me the flower in the comments. Flower. And within the borders, within the boundaries, I want it to be supported by this figures. Okay, how do I feel about that? this feeling of the growth, feeling of the blooming. I like that. And the feeling of more waves, because it's water, 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 and triangles because it's like purifying filters and protecting supporters and protectors of this wish. The wish of the central wish related to the blooming, to the new growth. It's like a sketch, but like I really want to get into details with the details, like make it really detailed. The pattern, like, you know how Kyrgyz patterns are like really detailed, so many things are happening. I also want there to be so many things are happening, but at the same time telling a cohesive, supportive story. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep building on this idea of layering, keep building on the idea of creating these gates, these portals. Having a specific collector in my mind makes this whole process interesting, because typically the way I do my work is it's very personal, it's very like connected to my heart, and that's why I feel like I gatekeep a lot of my art. But this one is really different because I am creating this artwork for the specific person. I feel like even though I haven't met that person yet, or I don't know who the person is yet, but I feel like I'm connected with that person already. Speaking of collectors, I just released a new drop, the Fertile Dark limited edition art prints. I only released 33 of them, so make sure you grab them. The link is waiting for you in my bio. As always, I'm so happy to see you here. And if you want to learn more about the harvest phase of this season or the research phase of this season, I would recommend watching these videos. This was Aziza. See you in the next video.